Tonight on Middle Tennessee News, a Laverne police officer is on leave due to a frightening accident, and shooting takes place at a local McDonald's.
A crash in Mount Juliet proves fatal, and relief is on the way for communities ravaged by recent storms. All those stories plus your local weather and sports. Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Kara Fullington.
And I'm Dylan Simmons. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
This morning, a fatal shooting took place in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville Metro Police Department responded to a call from Old National Bank around 8:30 a.m. reporting an active aggressor. Police were met with an active fire when they arrived at the scene. The gunman used an assault rifle to fire multiple shots on the first floor of the bank. 5 people were fatally shot, including the gunman. It is unclear at this point if the police wounded the gunman or he took his own life. Additionally, 8 people were sent to the hospital, including 2 police officers. At this time, there is not a known motive as it is still under investigation. Police have confirmed the shooter has a connection to the bank and was possibly a former employee. Neither the identity of the gunman or the victims have been released yet. Democratic Governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, had this to say about the tragedy.
This is awful. I have a very close friend that didn't make it today. And I have another close friend who didn't either, and one who's at the hospital that I hope is going to make it through. So when we talk about praying, I hope people will.
A confrontation at a fast food establishment turns violent. Officers responded to calls about a reported shooting at a McDonald's located at 126 North Mount Juliet Road. The shooter was apprehended near the intersection of Old Pleasant Grove Road and Pleasant Grove Road. The altercation arose from an argument in the parking lot between the shooter, 61-year-old Gregory Muller, and a 31-year-old man who remains unnamed. Muller made a couple of shots from a handgun at the 31-year-old man's vehicle. Muller was booked into the Wilson County Jail with 1 count of aggravated assault and 7 counts of reckless endangerment. No one was injured in the altercation.
TBI investigates a local police officer mistake that might cost them their job. An investigation is underway surrounding an accidental weapon discharge that was made by a Laverne police officer. The unnamed officer was placed on administrative leave until further notice. The incident happened on Wednesday, April 5th. In addition to the investigation being conducted by the police department, TBI will be conducting their own. Details surrounding the incident have not been made public. Tennessee has gained national attention following the expulsion of 2 Democratic state lawmakers. Representative Justin Jones and Representative Justin Pearson are seeking to be reappointed and elected back to their seats. The 2 black representatives were expelled last week following the gun control protest on the House floor. The expulsion has gained national attention all the way up to President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Nashville officers are meeting Monday, April 10th to decide on reinstating Representative Justin Jones. Representative Justin Pearson has a chance to be reappointed when the Shelby County Council meets on Wednesday, April 12th. If reinstated, both Jones and Pearson plan to run in the upcoming special election.
A Mount Juliet woman is dead after her and another individual collided. The crash occurred around 1:30 p.m. Saturday on Pleasant Grove Road around Catapulpa Drive. A 2004 Saturn Ion was going east when it collided with a 2015 Ram 1500. The Saturn took a right turn and started to spin. It then collided with the Ram 1500 twice before going off to the right and ending up in the tree line. The driver of the Saturn, 65-year-old Deborah Roberts, died, while the Ram driver survived the crash injury-free. A follow-up on one of our stories last week where a fatal crash occurred in Murfreesboro. The crash victim has been identified as 34-year-old Raymond Fayez Landis Ibrahim of Smyrna. The driver of the yellow Camaro died in the wreck. The investigation revealed that Raymond was trying to pass a white GMC Yukon when the vehicles collided on Northwest Broad Street. The collision forced the Camaro and the Yukon off the side of the road into a tree line. The Yukon driver suffered minor injuries, while Raymond crashed into a tree and died on impact. Prayers go out to those affected by this crash.
A bill that would allow teachers to carry guns in school recently passed through the Education Administration Committee. In a 12-6 vote, HB 1202 passed through the committee. This is not the first teacher carry law to exist, but it is the first one that has made it this far. According to the bill, teachers who decide to carry must undergo and pay for 40 hours of annual gun training. They would also need approval from the school director and pass a mental health screening, as well as an FBI background check. The bill will be presented to the Calendar and Rules Committee on April 13th. Since the shooting in Nashville, there have been several discussions regarding school safety. A new security film that might make it more difficult for criminals to access glass doors and windows is gaining attention among schools and parents. The tough polyester film gives resistance against break-ins, vandalisms, and bad weather, and it attaches to glass with strong adhesive. The adhesive keeps anyone from pushing through the film even after the glass has been broken by an AR-15 style weapon, and it can be cut to fit any size window or glass surface. 5 private schools have already reached out to show interest in having the Lumar security film installed.
Help is on the way for those affected by the recent weather disasters. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, has just granted disaster relief for the storms, strong winds, and tornadoes that blew through parts of Rutherford and Cannon counties on April 1st. FEMA's Public Assistance Program provides grants to local governments and types of nonprofits so communities can quickly recover from natural disasters or emergencies. Rutherford County Mayor Joe Carr and Cannon County Mayor Greg Mitchell have thanked volunteers and the organizations that have assisted in the debris removal process.
And now we have Mary Beth Mangrum, who joins us with our first look at the weather.
Thanks, Kira. It's been a nice recovery for the mid-state after a wet start to Easter weekend. Looking at today, we have Murfreesboro sitting at a comfortable 71 degrees with partly cloudy skies, while Manchester has our lowest temperature at 68 degrees of the lack of humidity. McMinnville, Woodbury, and Shelbyville all sit at an even 70 degrees, while Smithville is just below at 69. Mount Juliet is our warmest city at 72. I'll have more information on tonight's forecast when we come back. Kira, back to you.
Thanks, Mary Beth. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, MTSU fashion students are preparing to show off their passion on a big stage. And Dr. Larry Burris is back with another media commentary. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzing overshared again?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
that's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News, and now we have Dr. Larry Burris with this week's media commentary.
I like to think I keep up with new technology and certainly can't be accused of being a technological Luddite. But I do think we're approaching the limit of how we use all those electronic marvels. A woman in Colorado recently had her Google account suspended and, according to the New York Times, was upset because she lost all of her wedding photos, family videos, tax records, and emails. So here's my question. What was all that irreplaceable material doing on the so-called cloud anyway? Which actually means it was stored on a computer system owned by someone else, in a location she couldn't get to, completely controlled by a total stranger, who in fact did not have her best interest at heart. If you think this makes sense, then let me make this proposal for you. Give me a few hundred of your dollars. I'll keep it safe, but then if I decide I won't let you have it back, there will be absolutely nothing you can do about it. What I'll claim is that the material is now mine, not yours. And if I think you are going to use that money for something I don't approve of, then you lose all control of it. Now it's mine, not yours. I think you'll agree such an arrangement is what we'd like to call DUMB stupid. Now, the woman had posted some questionable photographs. But why did they keep all of her other files? I guess because they just wanted to. No reason, just because. And we also have to note she did eventually get her account back. But what if Google had decided, for no reason, to permanently cancel her access? Of course, I want to ask, why didn't she have all of that data in an easily accessible location? Sure, I have all of my photographs somewhere on the cloud, but I also have them on my computer and on a separate hard drive. One of the most common science fiction tropes is computers taking over the world. Well, those robots won't have to work too hard. We'll just give it to them. I'm Larry Burris.
Thank you, Dr. Burris. Make sure to tune in next week for his next media commentary.
The city of Laverne has begun their annual fire hydrant testing. Laverne Fire and Rescue Department will be inspecting and testing 1,400 fire hydrants from all over the city for the next few months. They will be taking off all caps, as well as lubricating the threads and draining the hydrants. This is to make sure they work, as well as to clean out the piping. This could lead to some decrease in water pressure for those around the hydrant being tested, as well as discolored but harmless water.
Chris Tomlin hosted the 7th annual Good Friday concert in Nashville. During the show on April 7th, Tomlin announced that all of the profits from the show will be donated to the Covenant School. Proceeds from the concert will go towards the needs of the school, students, teachers, and parents, as well as families of fallen officers. Tomlin brought families from the Covenant School and Chief of Metro Police John Drake on stage to announce the news. If you want to contribute to funding for the Covenant School, send a donation to Caring for Covenant Fund set up by the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee.
Rutherford County deputies shared a sweet moment with a girl they rescued last year. In January 2022, 4-year-old Harper Box was abducted by her father in North Carolina and later rescued by Rutherford County deputies. On Friday, March 31st, Box and her family came back to Rutherford County to have dinner with the same team that saved her. Box ran into the arms of Deputy Denise Smotherman, who took care of her in the night they found her. She had previously asked to see Smotherman, even referring to the deputy as her best friend. Other members she reunited with included Officer Corey Ridner, who aided in her rescue, and K-9 Bo, who tracked her to the motel where she was located. Ridner and fellow officers gave Harper Box a bear, which included an MPD patch during the heartwarming and rewarding evening. MTSU fashion students are putting on a fashion show April 18th. MTSU students are creating and designing all the parts of a fashion show, including the clothes, graphics, advertising, and planning. The students found other students from around campus to model their clothes. Student tickets will be $10, tickets for the public will be $25, and it will be $50 for the VIP tickets, which includes a meet and greet with the designers, as well as refreshments. The tickets can be purchased online or at the door if space is still available.
And now we have Mary Beth, who is back with tonight's forecast. Mary, what do we have to look forward to tonight?
Thanks, Kira. Tonight in the mid-state will be a chilly one for most of our cities. Murfreesboro starts things off with a cool 42 degrees, but without concern of precipitation. Manchester, McMinnville, and Woodbury will follow suit by dropping down to 42 as well. Look for those cities to also have a little worry of rain. Shelbyville and Smithville will find themselves at 41 degrees for their low tonight. Mount Juliet has the highest temperature during the day, and the same at night, as 44 degrees will be the low. Got plans of going out tonight? You might want to bring the gloves and coat along with you. When we come back, I'll have your full 5-day forecast. Kira, back to you.
Thanks, Mary Beth. I know I'm definitely enjoying this warmer weather we've been having. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, Mary Beth will join us with our full 5-day forecast, and Ryan Martinelich will join us from the MTN Sports Den with our weekend sports report.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News, and first let's check in with Mary Beth to get a look at our full 5-day forecast. Mary Beth, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Kira. Murfreesboro had fantastic weather Easter Sunday, and that will mostly continue into the rest of our week. Today we had a high of 71 with partly cloudy skies, little humidity, and a 7% chance of rain. It will cool down a bit tonight, and we can expect temperatures to plunge down into the low 40s. This will also create a 6% rain chance and only 30% humidity overall. Tuesday will give us a high of 74 degrees for the day with a high humidity percentage of 67 and a 7% chance of rain. It'll be the same pattern as Monday, as the temperature will drop down into the night, eventually reaching 43 degrees. As we go into Wednesday, the high raises to 76 degrees with a significant reduction in humidity as it goes down to 43%. Temperatures will still plummet to 45 during the night with clear skies on the dark horizon and only a 6% rain chance. Your Thursday will be our best weather day of the week with a high of 78 degrees and a partly cloudy view of the sky. Friday will be our lone problem day with a high of 73, but also with a 51% chance of scattered thunderstorms, as well as a 69% humidity chance. That pattern will clear up somewhere into the night, but there still could be a chance of rain with a low of 59 and with thunderstorms still a possibility. Overall, this week looks to be a very promising one for the Mid-State, as we will see the best that spring has to offer for most of it. Make sure to join us on Wednesday, April 12th for our next look at Mid-State weather. Kira, back to you.
Thanks, Mary Beth. I know I'm looking forward to more of that warmer weather. When we come back, Ryan Martinowicz is over in the MTN Sports Stand where he will have our weekend sports report with all things Blue Raider athletics. Stick around.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back. As spring seems to finally be in full swing this week in April, so was the MTSU baseball team while they were up in Bowling Green. The Blue Raiders swept the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky in their conference series over the weekend, and things got started early in Game 1 with senior Jeremiah Boyd homering in the first inning, his 8th of the season. Brett Coker and Jackson Galloway would join him with home runs of their own on the way to a 6-3 victory. Game 2 would see pitching take over as Jaden Ham went 7 scoreless innings, striking out 6 batters and only allowing 3 hits. And thanks to RBIs from JT Mabry and Briggs Rudder, MTSU would eke out the win 2-zip. Locking up the series win, but they weren't done yet. Game 3 saw the Blue Raiders score 4 runs in the 3rd inning, 2 coming from an RBI single from Jackson Galloway, and another run off of a throwing error in the 4th inning. Western Kentucky would make it interesting, but would fall short, 5-4. This is the Blue Raiders' 2nd series victory over Western Kentucky on the season and has the MTSU Blue Raiders baseball team on a 6-game win streak. Unfortunately, the softball team didn't have as much success over the weekend while they were in Charlotte, taking on the 49ers. Weather would impact this Conference USA series as the first 2 games were played in one afternoon to avoid the weekend storms, but the 3rd game would be a wash and end up getting canceled anyway.
Game 1 of the doubleheader saw Cameron Karsich start for the Blue Raiders, but she would give up 2 49er home runs in the first 2 innings. One from senior Cassidy Cruppett would go for 3 runs. MTSU would try and rally as they scored 2 runs in the 7th inning behind Ava Tepe and Anise Harvey, but would fall short 4-2. After a quick break, Game 2 started just as Game 1 did. 4 early runs for Charlotte behind a 3-run homer, this time from 49er freshman Lexi Winter. The Blue Raiders would respond with 2 home runs from Laura Mueller and Ansley Blevins, but 2 more Charlotte home runs from Lexi Winter would end up putting the game out of reach for MTSU 9-5. This marks the 4th straight loss for the Blue Raiders softball squad and the 6th loss in 7 games overall after what was one of the best starts in program history for the softball team. They will try to put a W in the win column on Wednesday as they travel up to Clarksville to play the Austin Peay Governors. And one more swinging sport in action is golf, as the Blue Raider golf team is currently up in Nashville playing the first round of the Mason Rudolph Championship. Vanderbilt, the #1 ranked golf team in the nation, is playing host this week to 14 other teams, including 5 other ranked teams and MTSU at the Legends Club. Round 1 play is still ongoing, but junior Michael Barnhard leads all Blue Raider golfers as he would stand at 2 under par, good for a tie for 4th. Pretty impressive. Golf will continue throughout the week with the final round on Wednesday. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. And wrapping up our show tonight, it's National Hug Your Dog Day. I know I'm excited to go home and give my dog a big old hug. And this day is celebrated every year on April 10th. This day is set aside to show dogs how much we love and care for them. Giving your dog a tight hug can strengthen your bond.
It is important to appreciate our dogs. Not only are they our companions, but they serve us humans with many different tasks. Dogs can be trained for stress, medical conditions, and help with police searches. So make sure to give a little extra love to your furry friend today. It's as simple as a hug that will make your dog's day. Thank you for joining us for Middle Tennessee News. I'm Dylan Simmons, joined by Kira Fullington, Ryan Martinelich, and Mary Beth Mangrum. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
Make sure to follow us on all social media sites on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you on Wednesday for our next show.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S., And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio